Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Enjoy English. I'm Bruce.
I'm Antony.
Today we continue in our All About Nature category, talking about head in the clouds. Now, yesterday we discussed how it happens that clouds are formed in the sky, and just as strangely, they will disappear often after it rains. And we explained the mechanics of this. How does that happen? How does it work? Because this is a process that seems like magic, but it isn't.
没错，老师刚刚用到一个字 mechanics， 就是运作的这种机制的 process。好，在这边的话，我们今天要继续跟大家介绍跟云有关的一些更多的资讯哦，甚至我们会告诉你各种云的这种种类。如果说今天你能掌握到这些云的种类的话，你甚至可以开始可以预判天气哦。我们来赶快看看今天的内容。
Head in the clouds. Clouds come in a variety of shapes and sizes and can be divided into different types. By correctly identifying them, you can even tell the weather. Generally, there are three main types of clouds: cirrus, stratus, and cumulus. Cirrus is a common type of cloud that forms above 4,000 meters. These clouds have thin bodies and look like feathers. When you see cirrus clouds, a change in weather might be on the way. On the other hand, stratus clouds are flat sheets of blue or gray clouds that form anywhere between the surface and about 2,000 meters. Sometimes they can cover the whole sky and even block out the sun. When you see stratus clouds, you may want to grab an umbrella because heavy rain or storms could be approaching. Cumulus clouds are unique. They can form at any height. In addition, they usually appear individually, and the base of each cloud is often flat. Cumulus clouds are usually white and look like giant cotton balls. When you see cumulus clouds, you can assume the weather will be sunny and fair in the near future. But if they get larger, this indicates that there is the possibility of rain.
Here we are now with the first sentence of our first paragraph. Clouds come in a variety of shapes and sizes and can be divided into different types. And this is a great introductory sentence because that's what all of today's lecture is about. If something comes in, it appears as, or we can experience something as something. It's rather abstract, so we'll have our master of English here explain it to you in Chinese.
Yeah, 好，这个地方我们来先看一下第一段的第一句话。他说 ，Clouds come in a variety of shapes and sizes。如果你说什么什么东西 come in， 我都会想到说 come in different shapes and sizes， 就是有各式各样不同的种类。如果说今天你可能提到说各式各样狗有各式各样不同的大小 ，dogs come in different shapes and sizes， 那种情况的话都可以套用。所以这边这个地方就是主要在讲，那云朵呢有各式各样不同的这种 shapes 形状，还有 sizes 尺寸大小 ，and can be divided into different types， 也因此呢可以被分成不同的种类哦。
Right. By correctly identifying them, you can even tell the weather. By correctly identifying them. Oh, there is this kind of cloud, but over there is a different kind of cloud. And if you really know your meteorology, that is your ability to understand the weather, you can predict the weather yourself.
Yeah, 所以你今天如果学会这项技术的话呢，之后你在看天空的时候都可以预测说，哎呦，好像快下雨咯，或是哎呦，今天的话应该不会下雨等等。所以你看这边这个地方，他说 by correctly identifying them， 如果你能够准确的去认出这些不同种类的云的话呢， you can even tell the weather， 你呢就可以预判天气咯。
And tell the weather does not mean you talk to the weather. Here, tell is to understand or appreciate.
没错，在这边的话，tell 的意思不是跟他说话，而是去判断、判读的意思。
Generally, there are three main types of clouds: cirrus, stratus, and cumulus. So these are what we're going to be talking about, these different types or forms of clouds, and not just what they look like, but sometimes what they do.
没错，在这边的话，我们看一下这句话，他说 generally。一般来说呢 ，there are three main types of clouds， 有三种不同的这种云的方式的云的这种形状啦，还有它的名称。好，有 cirrus， 好，就是这种卷云。好呢 ，stratus， 好，老师刚刚念 stratus， 好，就是指这种层云，一层一层的。还有 cumulus，cumulus 的话就是积云，堆积的积，有这三种不同的这种云。
Okay, let's move ahead now to our next, also very short paragraph. Cirrus is a common type of cloud that forms above 4,000 meters. So this cirrus type of cloud, Koei, in American English, we like to call it horsetails because it's long and flowing and maybe curves a bit at the end. It reminds you of some animals, big animals that have a long tail. So that is a common type of cloud. It forms, it is made, if you will, above 4,000 meters. Now that's pretty high. We're talking about Yusan, that kind of height. That's where it starts, but they can go much higher than that.
没错，我们来看这一段的第一句话，他就告诉你说 cirrus 就是我们刚刚讲的第一种云，好，就是卷云。老师刚刚顺便说了一下，在这个英文的口语里面，它会使用 horsetails， 就是马的尾巴来讲这样的云哦。他说是一种非常常见 a common type of cloud， 常见的这种云种 that forms above 4,000 meters， 好，差不多是在距离这个地面4000公尺，海拔4000公尺，像玉山那么高的这个地方，在那个地方去形成，而且在那个4000公尺以上的地方形成的。
These clouds have thin bodies and look like feathers. Thin means not a lot of things together, but stretched out or pulled out. That's what we mean by thin. Looks like feathers. Remember yesterday we talked about fluffy clouds. Fluffy is like feathers. Well, here you go. So we can say they look very fluffy or puffy. 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 Oh, we have puffy, fluffy, and something like feathers. Fluffy and puffy are adjectives, but feather or feathers is a noun.
没错，所以我们看这句话，他就说了 ，These clouds have thin bodies， 指的就是它们的云体呢本身是非常非常轻薄的 ，and look like feathers。那这个 feathers 的话，当然我们刚刚提过了，就是像羽毛一样，对不对？那种羽毛的感觉。所以顺便回忆一下，我们上一次，我们昨天的时候有提到 fluffy， 指的是那种蓬松的。老师刚刚补充了 puffy， 也是那种蓬松的感觉。我们有很多的字词来表达那种蓬松感。
When you see cirrus clouds, a change in weather might be on the way. Well, it's very, very hard to predict weather, to talk about it before it happens, especially when you live on an island like Taiwan. So if you sometimes say, what? The weatherman's crazy, but it's really very difficult because islands, by definition, have water around them, and the water has currents, and you have air and water combined. It is very complex, and it's extremely difficult to do. But if you see these feathery, puffy, fluffy clouds, it won't be on the same day. It may be 1 or 2 days later. Don't be surprised. Don't expect, but don't be surprised to see rain.
所以这个地方的话就告诉我们说，其实住在海岛国家，像台湾这种地方，因为水汽四面环海嘛，水汽的变化真的是天气瞬息万变哦。所以老师刚刚用到一个字 predict， 就是指预测的意思 ，predict。 predict， 好，这是一个动词指预测，所以他这边告诉你说 when you see cirrus clouds， 如果你看到这种卷云的话，A change in weather might be on the way. 可能呢，天气就是要变咯。
Okay, that finishes our second paragraph. We'll take a short break again and come back with the next paragraph. Okay, welcome back. Let's get busy. We have two more big paragraphs. This one begins with, on the other hand,Stratus clouds are flat sheets of blue or gray clouds that form anywhere between the surface and about 2,000 meters.
OK， 来，我们来看一下这边这句话。On the other hand， 就是另外一方面哦，他要换另外一个主题要讲了。他说了 ，stratus clouds 或者 stratus clouds 就是指层云呢，好，这样的云朵呢 are flat sheets of blue and gray or gray clouds。好，就是它的颜色，它是一层好扁平的那种，可能像是蓝色或是灰色这种云朵 that form anywhere between the surface， 这边 surface 指的是地表哦 ，and about 2,000 meters， 也就是地表还要到那个海拔2000公尺这样中间的地方，它会形成这种层云。
Sometimes, now and then, they can cover the whole sky.So it's a blanket. You don't see blue at all, or at least you don't see blue sky. You might see blue clouds or gray clouds, but it covers the whole sky everywhere and even block out the sun. You might not be able to see the circle of light that is the sun. It's lighter, but hey, where's the sun? Then it blocks out the sun.
没错，所以在这边还告诉你说 ，sometimes 有的时候呢 ，they can cover the whole sky， 它可以盖住整个天空哦 ，and even block out the sun， 甚至呢 block out 就是指把什么东西遮挡住了，它甚至可以遮挡住，让你看不见太阳。诶，的确你感受到太阳光还是亮的，可是你找不到太阳，那也许就是这个层云它出现了这样的感觉。
When you see stratus clouds, you may want to grab an umbrella.Because heavy rain or storms could be approaching. Well, thank you very much for the could be. Again, the weather forecast, the weather prediction, what's the weather going to be like tomorrow is a best guess. Sometimes we actually do know if conditions are right, but when you have changeable weather conditions,I feel sorry for the weathermen and the weather women who are trying to predict the weather. Sometimes they're 100% wrong. It's not their fault. It's the weather's fault.
没错，所以这里的话，你不能怪这些气象主播，他们突然预测错误，因为瞬息万变啊，这种状况啊。所以在这边的话，告诉你说了 ，when you see stratus clouds， 当你看到这种层云的时候呢 ，you may want to grab an umbrella， 你也许会想带把伞。为什么呢 ？Because heavy rain or storms could be approaching。这边老师特别花了时间去解释 could be approaching 这个 could。当你用 could 这个字的时候，代表你不是那么有把握一定会这样，因为天气多变化嘛，对不对？所以在这边的话，你最好带把伞，因为可能有大的那种雨啊，或者是甚至是那种比较大的那种风暴啦 ，could be approaching， 说不定就要来咯。带把伞准备好是最重要的。
Okay, welcome back to our final paragraph for today, which is day 2 of our 2-day lesson on nature. Cumulus clouds are unique. Now, here's a word we have pretty frequently on our programs. It's used quite often, but in schools, you may not see it until high school and maybe 11th or 12th grade, but it's an important word because it means only one of a kind. If something is truly unique, there is nothing else like it. There's only one.
Oh, yeah. 还好只有一个，是不是？我就知道老师会这样阴我。Unique 就是独一无二的意思。好，老师刚刚开玩笑讲说还好我是独一无二。如果更多像我这样的学生，他可能会疯掉这样子哈。所以我们看这边这一段的第一句话，他讲说 cumulus clouds 就是我们说的第三种云，叫做积云。好，这个积的话就是累积的积。好，这个积云呢 are unique， 好，非常非常独特。
They can form at any height. Now, we talked about first the cirrus clouds forming at about 4,000 meters. That's pretty high. And then our last paragraph, we took a look at the stratus clouds, which form at 2,000 meters. Mm-hmm. And now, cumulus clouds, good luck, because you can find them very close to the ground. In fact, when there are cumulus clouds on the ground, we call that fog. The next time you walk in fog, you are walking inside of a cumulus cloud.
没错，我有那样的经验哦。之前是去苗栗南庄的时候，刚好到了那个山上，好，那上面的话有云海，我发现到哦，你从上面看的话是云海，可是你往下走一点的时候，你发现你就是在雾里头，好，那个大雾的感觉非常非常特别的一种经验哦。有机会的话可以去看一看，感受一下那个哦。如果说是靠近地面的话，它就是我们说的 fog， 好 ，F-O-G fog 就是雾的意思。所以在这个地方他就说了 ，They can form at any height， 它在任何高度都有机会形成这样的积云。
In addition, they usually appear individually, and the base of each cloud is often flat. Now, I think this is the most commonly seen kind of cloud. Even children, when they draw the sky, if they draw clouds, they probably are drawing cumulus clouds because they're white and fluffy or puffy, but they're also flat on the bottom, and they look like ships moving through the air.
Yeah.
Those are your 标准的, those are the natural form of cumulus clouds.
没错，所以你看小朋友在画画的时候，你说画一朵云给我好不好？他们多半都会画这种 cumulus clouds， 好，就是指这种积云。它的话上面会有这样云朵，这样一圈一圈，但下面的话是平的，就很像是一个小太空船一样那种感觉哦，非常非常可爱。
Yeah, another thing that they might look like to some people are cotton balls. These are things you can buy in a drugstore in a box. If you cut yourself or you want to put on or take off makeup, you want something soft for your skin, then it's a ball of cotton, and we call that cotton balls.
没错，就是那种棉球。所以在这个地方你会看到说，他说 In addition, they usually appear individually. 他们会单独的出现 ，and at the base of each cloud is often flat. 好，下面是平的。好，他后面告诉你说 ，cumulus clouds are usually white and look like giant cotton balls。好，就是老师刚刚讲的棉球，它们呢常常多半是白云，白色的，而且看起来很像巨大的这种棉球。
When you see cumulus clouds, you can assume the weather will be sunny and fair in the near future, but if they get larger, this indicates that there is the possibility of rain. Okay, so here we write, you can assume the weather will be sunny and fair. Having worked with air traffic control and the weather, you rarely can assume anything about the weather, especially in a place like Taiwan, Japan, Florida, which have a lot of water around them. Assume is to think that something will certainly happen, but not with the weather. Anyway, more times than not, it will be sunny and fair. Fair refers to a sky without clouds in it, so therefore it would be sunny in the day in the near future. And really near, not a long future, but just over the next day or two only. But if these cumulus clouds get larger, then this probably shows us the possibility is higher that you're going to get rain.
哎呀，没有错，在这个地方我们看一下这整句话哦。他说，当你看到这种积云的时候 ，you can assume 就是在没有证据情况下，先假定事情应该是这样。你可以想说，应该这个天气 ，the weather will be sunny and fair in the near future。在不久的这个几天呢，天气应该会很好，会很棒。老师刚刚特别提到 fair 这边这个字用下去，代表有点像万里无云的那种感觉，天气真的非常好那种感觉哦。 But if they get larger， 但如果这种积云越来越多、越来越大的话 ，this indicates that 好，就是代表了什么 ？There's the possibility of rain， 就有机会会降雨。
Okay, that concludes our text for today and our 2-day lesson. Join us anytime. We're here for you. Until the next time,
bye bye.